Hello everyone. Today is 24th October 2025 and let us start current affairs through Mindmaps. The first article we are going to discuss is about the Thangta painting. Now why it is in the news that these Thangta painting are very prominent in terms of the Buddhist cultural heritage, and this topic you can relate with art and culture. Now here I have two important questions asked previously in 2018 and 2015 prelims UPSC prelims examination. From this you can understand why these paintings are very important. See the first question, like the well-known painting Bunny Honey belongs to which among the following? Which school of painting? Second question is Kalamkari painting refers to what? Which among the following is correct? So you're getting an idea here that what UPSC is asking and why covering such current affairs becomes very important for us. We can't leave it. We have to cover like the this Thangta painting belongs to which state and which school and what are the key features of these kind of Thangta painting. In the same line, right? In coming years UPSC can ask like the Thangta painting belongs from which state, or they can give some statements. Right? So this way we have to cover this particular article becomes very important. Let's cover this Thangta painting in a holistic manner. Okay, so the first important point here. So we are covering what? Thangta painting. Thangta painting. Now the first thing we have to remember is that its location is very important, very important. So let's cover the location. As we know, this is the northern part of India. This is the northern part of let's cover the whole map. Okay. See this. Here we have Ladakh. This is Ladakh, and this particular painting location is in Ladakh. Okay, that's the first point you have to remember, Ladakh. The second important fact we have to remember is its theme. What theme is used to make this painting? The theme is Buddhist theme. Buddhist theme. That is, Buddhism have a huge influence over the paintings of Thangta painting. Okay. From this image also you can see this is one of the image of Lord Buddha, right? Now the second thing, in Buddhist, what kind of things they have depicted? They have depicted Buddhist deities, spiritual event, symbolic mandal designs and other thing. Some key features we need to know after knowing this, key features of this particular painting. Features. The first feature you have understood, it's a complex image. That is, paintings are complex. It's not a simple painting, right? You see the elaborated painting, highly complex painting is there. So these are not simple painting. The second thing is that these kind of paintings are created on a stretch of cloth. They will take a stretch of cloth, and it will be coated. The coating will be done. The different painting coating will be done using gesso and chalk. Using gesso. What is gesso? Gesso is nothing but a kind of glue plus chalk. These things will be used for creating different texture. Along with it, they will use some natural color. Okay, so this way they will make painting. One significant feature here is that first they create outline. They will create the outline and then they will start filling this through the color. So that is the approach to make the painting, right? As we discussed, the theme we have discussed, features we have discussed, location we have discussed. One important fact we have to remember that this location is very significant because this is the confluence of different culture. As we know that the northwestern India was in the influence of the Greeks, Indo-Greeks, Central Indian rulers, as well as the Tibetan culture, Kashmiri culture, So there was the influence of Tibetan culture also, Kashmiri culture also. So through that we can say that the Ladakh was the crossroad of multicultural construct. So there are the influence of different culture, and these paintings like Thangtha represent such a synthesis of different culture. Okay, so this article was about the Thangtha painting. We got to know it is related to the Ladakh. It is related to the theme of Buddhist, and related to it, it creates a complex images. As we have covered the Thangtha painting, let us cover other significant painting also. As you see Kalamkari. Kalamkari belongs from the state of Andhra Pradesh. Tanjore painting belongs from state of Tamil Nadu. Mural painting are related to the Buddhist painting like the Ajanta Ellora mural paintings are also one of the example. Ajanta school of paintings are also mural painting. Patta Chitra is from Odisha. Warli painting, you must have guessed, this is from Maharashtra. Madhubani, famous from Bihar. Kangra painting is from Himachal Pradesh. Okay, portraits are common. Some significant personality related to the painting, some significant painters are, one of the major painter is Abanindranath Ghosh. Tagore. Abanindranath Tagore. He is popular for one of the popular painting, which is the Bharat Mata painting. Another significant personality is Raja Ravi Verma. So these are some significant personalities with respect to the painting, and these are the major paintings we have covered. Revise them. Let's go to the next article, which is related to the regulation of artificial intelligence generated content. See this image. These are the artificially intelligent AI based pictures made of these famous personality. See, in these pictures there are no offensive content. But what if anyone start making offensive content? I recently came across one video on the social media where it has shown that the Honorable Prime Minister and the Honorable Leader of Opposition, they are fighting in the Parliament, they are fighting. So that kind of misleading videos can create the socio-political disturbance in our country. If it is the communal content made through the artificially intelligent, it can cause the riots in our state, district as well as the locality. So such kind of deep fake, artificial intelligent used content can create huge issue in our society as well as in the politics also, right? So regulation of such content becomes too much necessary in today's world, right? So to address such issue only, the government have come to bring amendment in the IT rules 2021, so that we can address such issues with respect to the artificial intelligence made content. So what are the key features of those regulation, that only we are going to discuss in this particular article. The first thing is that regulation of AI generated content. This is the topic. You understood the context, right? Yes. So let's cover this in a holistic manner. First thing, you understood the news. Second, let's cover what are the important provision of draft rule. Important provisions. See, the first important provision of this rule, the first important provision is that there must be declaration of labeling, that the particular content which is published is made through AI. Okay, and 10% of area will be used to showcase that this particular video, audio, or the image has been generated using the artificial intelligence. Second thing is that the platform, the social media platform where these contents are getting posted, they will be taking some reasonable and the technical measures. They will be using some technical measure to identify such contents in order to make sure that they are following the law. If the violation is there, in case of violation of such a provision, there will be the action by the government against such social media intermediaries, and in that action the legal immunity given to these platform or social media intermediaries can be taken away. If you remember, in yesterday's article we had discussed about the safe harbor rule. Safe harbor means that if any person is posting something which is illegal, the liability does not go to the social media intermediary, but the liability goes to the person who have published that video on the social media platform. That is called as the safe harbor rule. However, if anyone is not complying with the rules made under the IT rule, particularly with respect to the AI generated content, then such kind of immunity, that is the safe harbor, can be taken away. Can be taken away. Okay, understood? Now, as we have discussed the provision, let's also see that what are the important provision at the global level. Let's see the global level global initiative. I mean, the different countries, what they have which kind of initiatives they have taken. The first thing is EU, that is European Union's AI Act. This is very significant, that to regulate the AI related content. The second important is the China's labeling system, where every AI generated content has to be labeled. Then third is, which is very popular, is Denmark. Denmark have brought the copyright system, that every person have the copyright over the content which has used their biometric or their personal information, like their images, like their audio. If that has been used, we can claim, those people can claim the copyright over those content. Okay, so that kind of provision also have made by country like Denmark. Next important initiative in the global level is there is one organization which is called as the Coalition for the Content Provenance and Authenticity. Coalition for Content Provenance and Authenticity. This is the one of the initiative. This is the industry led initiative, which ensures the contents are authentic and does not create any illegal activity, right? So this is under some project which is called as the Project Origin, to identify the origin of the content. Second is that the Content Authenticity Initiative. Content Authenticity Initiative. Okay, so this was the article related to the regulation of artificial intelligence. There is the important provision through the amendment of IT rule. Amendment of IT rules, where labeling and these technical measures and if the violation, their penalty, these all things has been covered. Let's go to the next article, which is related to India's indigenous 7 nanometer processor. So next article is India's indigenous 7 nanometer processor. See, let's understand the background first. As you know that the current era is going on towards or around the chip. This chip is very powerful now. From our mobile phone to our automobile, motorcycle or the cars, refrigerator, everywhere this chip is being used. Now India also want to become self-reliant in this chip, because currently we have to import from the other countries these kind of chips, right? So that's why this particular thing, like the becoming self-reliant in this sector, becomes very important for us. So you understood about the chip, right? So what is significant has happened recently is that the Union Minister of Information Technology, that is Ashwini Vaishnav sir, they have announced that the India is developing its own, that is indigenous 7 nanometer processor. So here many concepts are involved. Let's cover that. First thing is that what is this 7 nanometer processor? 7 nanometer processor, and what are the related news about this? So what it is, from this term you should be able to understand that it is something related to the chip which is in the scale of nanometer. However, it's not like that. It is the chip manufacturing, a kind of fabrication process. It is the chip manufacturing using a 7 nanometer fabrication process. So this is called as the chip which is produced using the 7 nanometer fabrication process is called as the 7 nanometer processor. It is highly efficient, and in terms of the energy, in terms of its efficiency, this is very, very sophisticated 7 nanometer processor. Now beyond that also 5 nanometer, 3 nanometer chip production is also going on. The companies like Apple, Qualcomm have worked on it and have developed their 7 nanometer chip. India is also doing the same process, like India is also trying to develop its indigenous 7 nanometer technology, the chip. For this we have one Shakti initiative. We have the Shakti initiative. What is this initiative? This initiative is nothing but a kind of development of 7 nanometer processor chip. It is under IIT Madras. It is being developed under IIT Madras. So these kind of initiative, including are also part of the India Semiconductor Mission to make India self-reliant in the semiconductor and the chip manufacturing. What is the significance of such kind of initiative? Significance. The significance is multifaceted. For example, the 5G technology, artificial intelligence, supercomputer, and other segment. This is highly useful. Important article is related to the sanctuary status for the Saranda forest. Let's understand the background. See, whenever it comes to the issue related to the forest nature, there are the different issues involved here. One is that the environmental angle, like the conservation point of view. Second is the rights of tribal and the indigenous community. That angle is also involved. Third is the developmental angle, economic development especially. Economic development in the sense like we need to sometimes adopt the deforestation in order to extract the minerals, mining, and those and other infrastructural projects. So these three aspects are involved in the forest related issues or the environmental related issues. Now what has happened recently is that the Supreme Court have directed the Jharkhand government to notify a new wildlife sanctuary in the Saranda forest. Now many things we will able to understand from this particular article. So the news is on the Saranda forest. So let's cover around this Saranda forest. Let's understand first thing where it is located. Then we will come to the issue and the other parts. So this is our country. This is the map of our country. So here you have Jharkhand. and in the border of, this is Odisha, this is, let's me zoom in, this is Odisha, this is Jharkhand. In this border region, in this particular region, this region, we have this Saranda forest located. Okay, now this location, this is significant because this is the iron ore mining area, iron ore mining area. So for that, this particular region or the forest is popular. Now Supreme Court have said to the directed the Jharkhand government that declare this forest as the wildlife sanctuary so that the conservation of this forest can be ensured. Now what are the other issue here involved is that, as I explained, this particular issue has to be seen not only from the environmental angle but also from the tribal rights as well as the developmental point of view also we have to see, as the mining is also important. Supreme Court have said that the current direction should not violate the operational mining leases, or the validation of those mining leases will be intact. That is the issue. Next article is about the Sevilla Forum on Debt. Again, let's understand first the background of this particular issue, then it will help you to understand. Background is that, see, what is happening in the world is that many countries have taken loan debt from the other countries in order to finance their developmental projects in their countries. So there is country A, country B. Country A has given country B the loan in the form of loan. They have given some support. So it's a loan, right? It's not a fee free of cost. Now country B will expect the country A to return them along with some interest. When the country A has given to the country B, if the country B is not able to repay the country A the required loan amount, what happens is that country A have to take loan from other country to repay that loan, or that debt burden starts increasing, right? So sometimes this country B will fall into the trap which is called as the debt trap. For example, China gave loan to Sri Lanka and Sri Lanka fell into the debt trap. Similar to the Sri Lanka, other countries, especially African or the South American country, even some Asian country have fall into the debt trap, and there is rising debt over these kind of countries. Now, now you will be able to understand this particular issue, that is the Sevilla Forum on Debt. From this, now you will be understand, like, this is the forum which will try to solve the issue of sovereign debt, so that help this forum will try to help those countries who are struggling to repay their loan. So this is the news and this is the background of this particular issue. Now let's cover the all aspect of it, that is Sevilla. This is important. Sometime UPSC asks, like, the Sevilla Forum was in the news, it is related to which among the following? They can give the climate change, debt and other aspect. So Sevilla Forum, what is Sevilla Forum? First, what it is? Remember, it is related to the sovereign debt. Solve the issue of sovereign debt. Okay, solving the issue of sovereign debt. It was initiated by the United Nation Conference on Trade and Development. Okay, and another institution is involved, that is United Nation Department of Economic and Social Affairs, right? So this is the background of this Sevilla Forum. Now there are some features of key features of this initiative. Is that, what are the key features here? Key features. So the key features of this particular initiative is that it will create a inclusive space for dialogue. One is that it will create inclusive space for dialogue. Dialogue on what? Dialogue on how to resolve the debt burden. reform the sovereign debt system, bring the transparency, right? So that we can ensure fair and sustainable debt solution. Okay. Third aspect is that it will try to bridge it will create a bridge between the borrower and the creditor. So it will facilitate them. So one side is the borrower, one side is the creditor, and it will create a bridge between them. So these are the key features related to the Sevilla forum. You have to remember. Let's go to the next article, which is related to the online national drug licensing system. Let me tell you about the background first, then you will understand this particular article in more clear way. The background is that recently, if you remember, in previous one of the Paripurna discussion, we had discussed about the drug issue, where one chemical was found in that drug, and because of that some children died. Cough syrup issue, right? And this is going on from many days. Even the last year also this issue was there. So one of the initiative or action taken by the government here, that is the news here: online national drug licensing system. From this, you can understand clearly that we have created one online drug licensing system which will look after the licensing of the different drug, especially the strict regulation of the high risk pharmaceutical solvents. For example, propylene glycol. And if you remember, this glycol was the constituent which led to the death of those children, right? So this is the background of this particular news as well as the context. Now this article you have to see few things here which is important. This news is only important. Basically what we are trying to do here is that we want to create one nation, one drug licensing system. One nation, one drug licensing system. This is the initiative. And we want to ensure the smooth regulation under Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940. Right? So this particular initiative includes the different aspect like the blood centers, manufacturing of the drugs, cosmetics, homeopathic, retailers, wholesalers, testing laboratories. These all will be covered under the scope of this particular initiative, that is the online national drug licensing system. Let's move to the next article, which is mains related article, which is about the aviation vision. If you remember 2024 means there was one question on the Udan scheme. So if you cover this particular article, you can easily solve that particular question asked in 2024 GS 3. Okay, let's start it. So the background is that the PIB have released one report or one article in which they have talked about the India's aviation sector growth and vision 2047. This article you can link with GS3, where infrastructure, especially the airports, this particular topic is mentioned in our GS3 syllabus. So from that point of view, it is very important. Let's understand first is the current status of our aviation sector. The status is that India is one of the fastest growing aviation sector, and we are the third largest domestic aviation market. Third largest domestic aviation market. Okay. Now, what growth we have seen, the current status is that, see, some data you have to remember here, which is important from our exam point of view. See, the number of airports have significantly increased. Earlier in 2014, we had 74 airports. Now in 2025, 163 airports are there in 2025. So this is one of the fact you have to remember. Second important fact you have to remember is the passengers number. So here also we have seen the significant jump. Earlier around 100 million 100 million passengers were there in 2014 who used the aviation sector for traveling, while in 2025 it reached to 350 million passengers. So that is also one of the significant jump we have seen in terms of the impact of different initiatives taken by the government. Next is the what is the importance. Next point we have to discuss here is that what are the importance of this aviation sector. See, aviation sector is very important from, let's say, from the different dimension. First is the economic dimensions. There is important in the social dimension also. Economic dimension is important because it creates employment, definitely employment opportunities. Around 7.7 million people are directly or indirectly employed in this particular sector. The second important thing, as said by the International Civil Aviation Organization. International Civil Aviation Organization have said that if we invest 1 rupee investment in the aviation sector, it can create the 3 times economic growth. It can contribute in the economy 3 times. Right, so that way it is very significant because it creates a kind of what? Multiplier effect. What is multiplier effect? Multiplier effect means when we invest in the infrastructure like aviation, road, ports and such other infrastructural and the capital investment, it actually facilitates the other economic activity, and that way other economic sector also grow, and that way it creates a multiplier effect. The next aspect is that it can boost the investment, including the domestic investment as well as the foreign direct investment. It can bring the technology. It can bring the technology in India under the technology transfer. It can facilitate our Make in India vision also. Make in India vision also. Okay, so that way you see the significant importance is there with respect to the economy. From the social point of view is also important because if the remote tier 2 tier 3 cities are connected, well connected, then the medical tourism can be increased. Medical tourism can be increased, right? So the better facilities of medicines as well as the medical sector will be available to the people, right? So that way also it is very, very important aspect. Now, what initiative government have taken? What important initiatives government have taken? Because of this, we have seen a significant jump in the progress in the aviation sector. Udan scheme you must have heard. Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik, which UPSC asked question on this, also on this particular topic. Udan scheme was to link the tier 2, tier 3 cities or the small cities, link them with the airports and the flights, right? Flight service provision with the affordable price. Here government provides the viability gap funding. If any gap is there with respect to this project, government provides the viability gap funding. Other schemes like the Krisi Udan. Krisi Udan. What is Krisi Udan? To facilitate the agricultural trade and agricultural transportation. Krisi Udan scheme. Third is the Lifeline scheme. Lifeline Udan scheme. That is, it was initiated during Corona period, COVID-19, so that the medical oxygen can be transported from one place to another wherever it was required. The third is that ease of travel, like the Digi Yatra scheme. Digi Yatra scheme, if you have heard, this is the faceless checking at the airport so that the ease of travel can be ensured. Fifth is that we have amended our drone rules 2021 so that the drone sector can be developed. Along with this, we have also provided the PLI scheme, that is the production linked incentive in the drone sector, so that we can promote the drones in our country, right? So these are the important initiative government have taken in order to promote the aviation sector, right? So in the conclusion, what we can write, in the conclusion, we can link this particular topic with the vision of 2047, vision 2047, as well as our developed country vision by 2047. Because see, aviation sector is a high valued sector which creates high value skilled jobs, as well as it is important for our capital expenditure segments, right? As we have discussed, it creates the multiplier effect. If we invest here more, it creates more jobs as well as the more contribution in the economic growth. So to become $10 trillion economy, also to become the developed country by 2047, also India has to have to focus on the aviation sector. So with this we conclude today's session. Thank you so much.